Alright guys, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to do it. I am going to try to end every single sentence by saying the word dude. If I can do it, you guys all have to give a like, a thumbs up to this video, because that is tough to do. So, good job Jeff Bridges, because I can't do it. It's tough. I'll try. Dude. Anyway, hey there guys, what's up, what's going on? It's Autobot Mike 18 here, dude. Guys, I am going to be bringing you a very shorter version of my old movie reviews, dude. Because, yeah, I want to, you know, give you my thoughts on this movie, dude. Come on, man. I can't do this whole review. Guys, all kidding aside, I watched a lot of older films that I wanted to do longer, in-depth old movie reviews for. You know, like I normally do, the normal standard 18 minutes, 17 minutes, whatever it is. And I watched a lot of them in the last few weeks of August, and I just didn't get a chance to sit down and do a review right after watching them, because I like to watch these movies after I watch them. So since it's been a while since I've seen some of these, and it's the end of the summer for me, and I want to still get old movie reviews out to you, I'm just going to do shorter, less in-depth reviews of these. So first one up is, of course, if you haven't read this title, dude, The Big Lebowski. I'm going to be reviewing that in this video. I also am going to do a review for Paths of Glory from Stanley Kubrick, which I watched, short review, and also for Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo. So stay tuned for all those. I'm going to upload them throughout September, throughout the month. I'll get reviews up for them, and I'm just shooting these quickly now, so, you know, by the time I go back to school, I can get these up to you guys, and you guys can enjoy them, and yay, everyone can be happy. Dude. So guys, The Big Lebowski is directed by the Coens, but specifically I think just Joel Coen directed this movie. One of them directed it. I know it just, one of them is it's Joel Coen directed this, but the Coens, Ethan and Joel both wrote this movie, and everybody loves the Coen brothers. I personally have seen two of their other films. I've seen No Country for Old Men and Fargo, and I've only reviewed No Country for Old Men. So now, The Big Lebowski, which I did watch on Blu-ray because I got it recently. Big Lebowski follows Jeff the Dude Lebowski, played by Jeff Bridges. He's your typical pot-smoking, just carefree slacker. He loves to play bowling with his two friends, Walter, played by John Goodman, and Donny, played by Steve Buscemi. And the dude one night is mistakenly, early on in the film, met by these robbers who mistaken him for this millionaire who's also named Jeff Lebowski. They end up peeing on his rug, and whatever you do, dude, you don't pee on the dude's rug, dude. And he's not going to stand for that. So, obviously, he wants to get involved in what's going on with these kidnappers, and eventually the millionaire Jeff Lebowski's wife is kidnapped, and he entrusts the dude to give, to use the ransom money. He gives the dude the ransom money and wants him to get his wife back. And just an absurd entanglement of hilarity and absurdity just ensues in The Big Lebowski, which is probably the Coens' best movie. Don't know if it's my personal favorite Coen Brothers movie yet. Personally, here's how I feel with whenever I watch a Coen Brothers movie. I haven't seen a lot of their other films like Barton Fink or Inside Llewyn Davis or A Serious Man or even True Grit. There are a few of their other movies I still have to see. But I felt this way when I watched Fargo, and even when I watched No Country for Old Men, and I definitely feel this way with The Big Lebowski. The Coen brothers do a really good job at creating and crafting a really compelling story with really compelling characters, really incredibly wacky and zany characters in the case of this movie. All of them. They all are. And like they did with No Country for Old Men and Fargo, I think they created very well-established characters, fleshed out characters, and they give us an interesting story that I basically, you know, can see where they're going with it every first time I watch it. But to actually really appreciate everything that they're trying to say, I feel that their movies deserve a second viewing. I felt that way after I watched Fargo, which is why I actually didn't review it the first time I saw it. I honestly felt that I didn't get or grasp where they were going with Fargo for me. And that's why I personally need to rewatch their movies. Like, I need to watch all their movies I haven't seen, and I need to also rewatch their movies I have seen to like fully grasp and appreciate them. That said, The Big Lebowski is one of those movies that after I watched it on Blu-ray, I actually went back to the beginning and rewound about most of it, rewound all the way back to the beginning, and I skipped through scenes and I just watched certain scenes again because I had such a freaking blast with this movie. Guys, this is probably my favorite Coen Brothers screenplay because the dialogue is so sharp and it's so witty and it's so just ridiculous that I was just into it throughout the entire movie. I love the world that they created with this film. I love the characters, the character relationships with one another, how well defined each character is. I'll just start talking about a few of them because they're so damn good. Guys, John Turturro, the first moment he comes into this movie, he's only in this movie in like 2 or 3 scenes. But from right off the bat, just from describing his backstory and just perfectly casting him, that's another thing. They know how to cast actors in their movies. Such a good job. But just right off the bat, I just get the idea that he's this really creepy guy who just has problems, and just that's all I'll say, because it just, the way he dresses, his appearance, his facial expressions and mannerisms, it's perfection. It really is. They do such a great job casting and picking these actors and then perfectly writing these roles for certain actors. They just know what they're doing and know how to create and establish funny, humorous characters and really actually well-renowned characters that I think will hold the test of time when you look back at their entire filmography and everything. I love Jeff Bridges in this movie as the dude. This is probably one of his career best performances, in my opinion. He's just this totally laid-back guy who just always says, you know, he's like, oh, dude, oh, come on, man. You know, like, he always complains. You know, it's, I can't do Jeff Bridges, but he is amazing in this movie. He is a national treasure in this movie, guys. He goes that far. Oh my goodness. I love just the wacky, crazy adventures that this character goes on, and I love how it's told from all of his perspective. He's just so carefree, the way his apartment is set, dressed, and everything just perfectly describes everything, from the way shots are composed to set dressing and costumes and everything. Just show me what type of character this guy is, and it's one of the most memorable film characters probably I've ever seen. I love him in this movie. John Goodman is just as equally good in this movie as the completely low-tempered, just completely outrageous Walter Sobchak. Oh my goodness. Donny, you're out of your element. Oh my god, he is so good in this movie. This is one of John Goodman's best performances. By far one of his best performances ever. Shut the fuck up, Donny. Guys, I'm sorry. I had to say it. Donny, shut the... When are we playing? I love him in this movie. He's the biggest wild card I've seen in a movie, and I don't know how long it's been. He'll just say something completely out of the blue, and I'll totally love it. And I love how confrontational he gets, just how much his temper grows, but at the same time how very reserved and you know, how he carefully thinks things through, but at the same time he makes an ass of himself in other instances and does really dumb shit. It's such good writing. I love how Steve Buscemi is just the frail third wheel in this relationship of these 3 guys who always go bowling. It's so funny. I love how he keeps getting put down by John Goodman in this movie. Oh my goodness, the final scene in this movie, I legitimately was laughing out loud for about 5 minutes. I had to pause the movie and gain my composure back. Like I couldn't help it. It was that damn funny. Julianne Moore is as sexy and as attractive as she always is. It's Julianne Moore. What more can you expect? Philip Seymour Hoffman was even great in the few moments that he was in the movie. Guys, The Big Lebowski is definitely a comedy. I look at it as a comedy by far, and in that respect, it's one of the best we've had by far, because I consistently laugh throughout this entire thing, and that's due to an incredibly well-written screenplay that's both witty, hilarious, but also very intriguing at the same time, because you want to figure out the mystery of what's really going on with this millionaire losing his wife and the ransom money and everything. You want to get to the bottom of everything for the sake of the dude, and it's so satisfying the way everything concludes in the end. I love it. There's so many crazy things that happen too, like fourth wall breaking. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it. Just the narrator coming into the story. It's just really, really smart. And by fourth wall breaking, I mean the narrator breaking the fourth wall. It's really, really, guys, it's just really, really sharp, very witty, and very intelligent comedic writing. And that's the best bit of praise I can give The Big Lebowski by far. The movie's shot by Roger Deakins. It's shot incredibly well, where the camera is literally just left on these characters, and they're literally just talking. They're just talking and having really engaging conversations with one another, trying to develop the plot further, or just talking about bowling, talking about life or their ideals or whatever. And it's just the funniest shit ever. It really is. Guys, I had a blast with The Big Lebowski. It's the Coens' best movie for sure. I don't know if it's my favorite Coen Brothers movie because I really love No Country for Old Men, but this is their best written movie by far. It's their best screenplay. And yeah, I really, really highly recommend The Big Lebowski. Guys, in the end, I'm going to give The Big Lebowski a solid grade of a 9.5 out of 10 or an A. I loved it. Again, reason why I didn't go A+, it's one of those movies where I really want to rewatch it, especially for those dream sequences, to really understand what they mean to the overall story as a whole. That's ultimately where I lie on why I didn't go A+, in case anyone was wondering. It's one of those movies that I think before I can actually say, yeah, that's incredible, it's one of the best of their filmography, I need to sit down and really rewatch it to really appreciate it even further. And that's not a bad thing. That is a good thing to say about the Coen brothers, because they know what they're doing, and they're really great filmmakers. So guys, there you have it. Those are my thoughts on The Big Lebowski. Thank you so much for watching my review. And I'm glad that I did a shorter review. Guys, enjoy my reviews for Paths of Glory and for Vertigo as well. They'll be coming up shortly, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching as always, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye, guys.